Hello friends, followers and channel members, welcome to today's video here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. And if you have watched the channel regularly, you may remember a while back that I was really struggling with the displays in my Fenix A320. Now of course version 2 of the Fenix A320 has been released for a few weeks now, with the second block of version 2 coming shortly. After this was released, I was hoping that the issues with my stuttering displays and low FPS on the navigation display, the speed tape, even the autopilot panel would have been fixed. Sadly, that was not the case, and it became very frustrating, particularly when workload management was getting high, things like on the approach and perhaps in bad weather, and suddenly the speed tapes and the altimeter were not updating as quick as they should, which could really mess up something if you were trying to do a non-precision approach. And this always used to tend to happen on areas where resources were being really focused and drained on the PC. Things like flying into high city areas or through thick cloud layers. Of course, in IMC conditions, that's exactly where you need to rely on the instruments. So if they're not updating properly and you're not getting accurate displays, well, it really was a bit of a pain, and certainly was an immersion killer. I could in fact be setting a new lower altitude to descend to on the FCU, the autopilot panel, but the numbers were just not changing. They would change on the primary flight display, but even that was really stuttery. So this obviously was a bit of a problem, and it turned out that it wasn't just me having this problem. So the Fenix devs had a look into this, and it turns out that there is actually a solution. So in the Fenix app, most of you will be familiar with the two options for the flight deck displays, using the alternative display renderer or the display synchronization. Using either of these, of course, affects your performance, and everyone is different depending upon the setup that they have. But did you know there is actually also a secret hidden setting that you can also use? Yes, it is the magic of wizardry, and in order to access this, you need to do something a little bit special. So this is what you need to do to activate the special wizard settings. Once you've closed down the Fenix app and of course Microsoft Flight Simulator, get yourself to the desktop and press on the keyboard your Windows key plus X to bring up this menu here. What you need to do then is find the Windows PowerShell. Don't select the PowerShell admin, just the normal PowerShell, and open this up. Alright, so then you need to copy and paste some text, basically some coding. This coding is also in the video description down below, and this is essentially it. Once you've pasted the coding into PowerShell, simply hit enter, let it do its thing, and then shut PowerShell down. Now when you open up the Fenix app, you should have made available the wizard display settings. It states of course that it is still experimental, as the Fenix team have advised, but to be honest, I've been using this for a few months now since the team basically brought it out, and it has solved all my stuttering problems, and it works really well. FPS is much better, and I certainly don't see any lag in my displays and the altitudes, navigation display, etc., like I was doing previously when things start to become quite resource heavy, such as flying through harsh weather and into highly demanding parts of the world. That wizard setting will be selected by default, and it is very important that you now don't play around with it. Don't select any of the other two options, just leave this wizard setting set, and it should solve all your problems. I'd love to know from you guys in the comments down below if this little trick has helped you out and seen you gain some performance on your display, so there is no longer any stuttering. One other issue that loads of people seem to be suffering as well is blurred text, and if you can see as I wind through the heading bug here on the FCU, all of the numbers kind of blur into one a little bit, and it's not particularly clear to read either. If I just have a zoom in at the altitude here as well, please ignore all of the warnings that are up, it's just as I've been using the replay mode, but just have a look down here at the altitudes. This starts to drop down again. All the numbers are really blurred. It's quite off-putting to see. This is something which can easily be rectified and fixed as well. If you are having an issue like this, go into your graphics settings and I'll bet that your anti-aliasing will be set to the DLSS super resolution, which is something on NVIDIA cards. What's more, when you update your NVIDIA drivers, this can also be reset to this setting. Instead, flick it back to TAA. This is what I use anyway, everyone else might be different, but not the DLSS settings. And you'll see now that, look, everything is back to being crystal clear and the numbers aren't blurred together anymore. So there's just a simple fix for that issue if you're suffering with it. So there you are, that's my 2 quick fix tips for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have found these useful, and again, if you have, please do leave a comment down below letting me know how you've got on with both of those solutions if you've been suffering with those problems. If you have enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to leave a like. Of course, you can now also support the channel further if you wish using super thanks across all our videos, and if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell as well so you don't miss any future videos or of course our live streamed flights. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all again in the next one. Bye bye for now.